Hi, welcome to this masterclass, this webinar about the 5 shifts to expand your career the way you want without anxiety. Who is this webinar for? It sounds like a paradox. It simply doesn't make sense that your career is skyrocketing, but you feel more stuck than ever. Are you a CEO, a top artist, or an entrepreneur, and are you struggling with panic or anxiety? Does the panic or anxiety stop your professional growth? Are you a high achiever, exhausted by your constant self-doubt, self-questioning, self-sabotaging, and hiding your anxiety? Do you feel ready to accomplish your goals, but your avoidance, procrastination, and sleepless nights keep you from making progress? This is for if you can't bear the thought of another panic attack and the fear keeps you on the verge of getting one. Then this is for you. Anxiety is not about being strong or weak. Even confident, outgoing, already successful, and seemingly resilient business leaders and well-known artists can be hiding overwhelming and long-term fears that negatively impact their physical health, family life, and career. Are you eager to stop the loneliness caused by anxiety? I've been there. Your loved ones feel your distance, and to spare them you further remove yourself. You have a wonderful partner, but they don't know how much you suffer inside. You feel alone. You somehow suspect or dream there's an easy, natural solution. So you have a coach. You try therapy and yoga. You read self-help books. Follow breathing practices. But the anxiety comes back as a wall standing between you and your loved ones. If you want to feel proud that you've solved your problem on your own, but so far there is no improvement, then this is for you. You're on the right path. You want to be free. Imagine for a moment that you're doing all the things that scare you without feeling fear. You walk into the boardroom and your heart is not racing and you're not oversweating. You step in front of the camera without worrying you're going to faint. You take a flight to attend that important match abroad without even thinking something will go wrong with the plane. You step onto the stage without panicking about your performance. Or maybe your anxiety is different from these examples. But what is the same is that you are ready for a different life. You are ready for a life without anxiety. You can live the life that you want. Anxiety does not have to dominate your life. You are ready for a life where you can see your career expanding, where you receive the promotion that you've been longing for, or build a new business. Of a life where you can write your book, or you finally take your clients to your retreat in Bali without worrying you'll have a heart attack when the plane takes off. You're ready so you can enjoy all the benefits of work in your company with your spouses, kids, family, and friends. So then this is for you, and in the next 40 minutes you're going to see how with 5 shifts you can move on in your career and personal life, becoming the best version of yourself. How to end the fear of panic that is paralyzing you. How to shift into finally trusting yourself. And how to value your life by giving yourself an hour a day to heal. In those 40 minutes, I will show you how to make these 5 shifts without quitting your work and your daily routines. Business has to go on as usual. How using a soft, natural but persistent method, you can change yourself on your own terms. And how with these shifts there will be no relapse, because the solution is not coming from willpower. First, what are we talking about? Some numbers. Anxiety is the most prevalent mental health disorder, with an estimated 284 million people experiencing it globally. So also the high achievers do suffer from anxiety. In the Netherlands, 90% of all adults have experienced anxiety in their lives. In the USA, 18% of the population suffer from it now, with major consequences for their general health and daily functioning. There's many sick leaves due to depression or anxiety, even 50% of the sick leaves in Europe. It is found out that generalized anxiety is more prevalent in urban communities than in rural communities. Research shows that executives and professionals experience symptoms of anxiety for 10 years or more before seeking any help. And nearly 60% of those suffering anxiety receive no treatment. My promise to you, I have developed a step-by-step 5-shift strategy from my own personal experience overcoming anxiety. And I'm going to lead you through all these 5 shifts in this webinar. The dream identity I aspired for myself, I am living it today. Together we will eliminate your panic or anxiety or both within 8 weeks. Is this you? Does this sound like you? When it comes to growing a successful life and business, even the best intentions and best laid plans can break under the destruction of anxiety. Let me give you some examples of attitudes and behaviors, and you can see if any of them applies to you. You're proactive and high functioning, but you could achieve so much more without your anxiety. You don't trust that you can ever get rid of anxiety, because it has been there for so long. You've lost hope of a peaceful life because you suffer from intense panic. You're sure that things will stay just as bad or get worse. You fear you cannot live up to your occupation, and because of that, not sustain your family anymore. Is this you? Anxiety creeps into every aspect of your life, and it's only after time that you see it has gone deep into it. For example, have you noticed that you feel like suffering with anxiety is a part of you, instead of a problem you can solve? Are you secretly scared you will lose yourself completely if anxiety takes over your life? And also, maybe you're secretly scared that when you get over the anxiety, that you also lose yourself completely, because you don't know yourself anymore without anxiety. Are you privately jealous of people who are not constantly hiding their fear? Are you desperate because you want to be able to make decisions without unnecessary hesitation? Do you want to be able to feel you made the right decision when there's asked from you to make a decision? The real problem is you have not made the 5 shifts yet. Anxiety can start slow and slowly become a habit before it reveals itself as a major aspect of your life. It can show itself in the form of quick temper, anger, indecisiveness, depression, lethargy, and proneness to panic attacks. Physically, it can result in loss of appetite or overeating, breathlessness, heartburn, ulcers, alcohol dependence, insomnia, reduced libido, and bodily tension. This is before making the 5 shifts. And once you have made these shifts, you will feel your life is different in a new and better way. You will have a surplus of energy that you can use for your own growth. You will forget about procrastination, and self-sabotaging will look like a distant memory. You will be open to many professional and personal opportunities that will arrive in your life. You will feel liberated and unstuck. You will feel this change for good without any relapse. In this masterclass, you're going to learn how to become the best version of yourself and become perfectly aligned with your soul. I want to guide you into complete trust in yourself, a place within you where there are no worries about earning enough money to sustain your family. There are no more worries about not being able to cope with your work. A place where there is abundance and awareness. A place where there is happiness in being you. A place where there's plenty of good nights and your sleep is not burdened by worries, but filled with happy feelings. You wake up having appetite to face the day. Something about me. Who am I? I'm Nicola Romme, transformative coach and founder of Success Without Anxiety. For the last 20 years, I've performed thousands of healings and helped CEOs, famous artists and entrepreneurs overcome anxiety and panic so they can grow their business and enjoy their successful careers. Arousal to Trust, ATT, is the unique effective method I use to calm and regulate the autonomic nervous system. And this has helped me overcoming generalized anxiety and social anxiety. My approach carries the wisdom of ancient healing practices. By guiding you to explore and express your innate wise healer, you will be able to heal yourself quickly. There are 5 shifts you need to make to bring about change. And we are going to discover these 5 shifts. I'm going to walk you through all the 5 shifts in this webinar. And by the end of this training, you'll be able to come out of the prison of avoidance and anxiety-based decision making and step into prosperous and abundant life. The first shift. I call it your body is not your enemy, or know thyself. Being an entrepreneur or an artist, it's a scary career path in itself, but an anxiety disorder can make it double hard. Entrepreneurs and artists are by default brave people. It takes a huge amount of guts to put money, effort, future prospects and dreams into an endeavor which quite frankly has more chance of failing than succeeding. There's no reason to simply bear the anxiety. As mentioned already, the most important aspect of managing anxiety is accepting that it's not a sign of weakness. Anxiety is usually a combination of for genetic disposition, chemical imbalance, possibly experiencing post-traumatic stress disorder, your autonomic nervous system in the wrong default, and for entrepreneurs especially the inherent rigors of growing a successful business. Being this said, and we're talking about the first shift you need to make is to embrace and appreciate your emotions. Being human means you have many emotions and many feelings. Of course you refuse to embrace this nauseating, suffocating, stifling feeling of fear. You want to go away from it. That is also a natural reaction. I will guide you through the first of your feelings and emotion, and step by step you will get to know them better by seeing them from another angle. If you label them negative, then you're fighting them. If you label the fear as a emotion, then you can start letting them be there, rather than fighting them at the very high cost of all your valuable energy. Emotional intelligence is a skill you can learn. It involves becoming aware of unpleasant emotions as they creep into your consciousness. But do you know, a feeling lasts only 9 seconds if you do not object to it. If you let the feeling be there. And like with any skill, the more we practice, the more instinctive it becomes. Once we master the skill, we're better able to work with these feelings and act more intuitively. Intuition is a potent source of information, and being able to trust your gut instincts means we can make decisions and act faster. This time for real, you will stop fighting your emotions and stop spending all your valuable energy. What happens if you skip shift 1? If you skip shift 1, nothing changes. If you don't learn to embrace your emotions, you're choosing to live the same life. You will continue to be overwhelmed by feelings of inadequacy, and you will be unable to move away from your anxiety. Without shift 1, your connection to your intuition will not be restored. Without embracing your emotions, how can you connect with your intuition? With this first shift, you cannot feel your own inner will. Without shift 1, you will never be able to say, I feel what I want, and I want what I feel. Let me give a quote from Mason. Let's call this person Mason. I worked with him, and he said I did have an intense fear concerning my new relationship. I actually did suffer from anxiety of commitment. But now this does not dominate me anymore. You help me soften my emotions and let them be there. I can now feel much better what I really want, what my intuition says. I can continue to build on the relationship and enjoy it. I can feel less fear, and you might find it strange, but that makes me happy. Before I could not feel any of my feelings. Career-wise, up till now, I only had set short-term goals. What changed as well after working with you is that for the first time in my life, I have clarity about my long-term objectives. Let's go over to the second shift. From arousal to trust, ATT. To overcome your anxiety, you have to shift from arousal to trust. The core of the 5 shifts is this ATT. Many doctors assume that what you think and do is what needs to change. In other words, an attitude change, a mindset change, or how your brains behave needs to change. However, we forget that making room in your bodily system is such an effective entrance to starting moving away from anxiety. What does it mean? You have to shift from arousal to trust. In scientific terms, your autonomic nervous system needs to switch from sympathetic to parasympathetic mode. This change will let you restore and heal yourself. In simple terms, if you are in sympathetic mode, you will be stuck in freeze, fight or flight response. This means that you will never overcome panic or anxiety, because you are constantly reliving them. So you will stay stuck in anxiety or panic. When you are in the trust mode, you do not experience anxiety. The shift from arousal to trust will be immediately obvious to you. From an overactive mind, you will transition to a quiet headspace. From short breathing to smooth and balanced breath. From having a sense of impending danger, panic or doom, to feeling good, to feeling okay. And in this trust state of balance, your subconscious mind will start to get different messages. So not only your nervous system, your body changes, but also your mind because of ATT. Shifting from arousal to trust involves connecting with your innate natural ability to heal yourself. Let's do a small test. And for just a minute, put your one hand on your belly and one on your heart. You might want to close your eyes. And then breathe slowly into your pelvis. And bring your attention to where your hands touch your body. Bring your attention to what you sense, what you feel. And that can be anything, there's no wrong or right. Just sense what you sense. Feel what you feel. And by placing your hands, the gentle healing energy will be invited. By doing this more and longer, your body will start to go ATT. What happens if you do not make shift 2, if you skip it? To recover and heal, to deeply nourish and restore yourself, you need an effective way for your autonomic nervous system to come out of the dominance of your sympathetic system. If you have no clue to go from arousal to trust, then you will not overcome your anxiety and panic, because they are your default state. It is the actual problem that your autonomic nervous system is way too much in sympathetic modes, dominant mode. Without ADT, you will recreate the same patterns over and over again. You will find yourself back into anxiety because you have not addressed the root of the problem, the dominance of the sympathetic nervous system in your body. No matter how amazingly you perform when you're high on adrenaline, the payback will arrive when the panic and anxiety return. You need the balance of this second shift. Let's do a micro quiz to check if your sympathetic nervous system is dominant. Ask yourself, am I in a trust mode where there is parasympathetic nervous system dominance? Or am I in the arousal state where there is a sympathetic nervous system dominance, meaning I'm stuck in the fight, flight or freeze state? Where are you now in this scale? And then 1 is pure sympathetic mode, totally frozen or running away or fighting. And 10 is completely calm and rest. You feel balance. So grade yourself at this very moment. Give yourself a number. Before we move over to the third shift. The third shift is be the CEO of your healing process. Own your life, own your health, be guided by your unique desires and needs. It has been taught that we need the approval of authority figures in our life. Therefore, you have become used to believing that your value as a person is dependent upon someone else's opinions. Your coach, your therapist, your doctor, or shaman are not going to cure you. Of course, you ask for support from all of them. Everyone that's potential can help you, but only you know, and only you can decide where you want to go. You are in charge of your health. Therefore, you're going to make yourself the expert and owner of your own healing process. You don't want to sit in the back of the car, sit in the driver's seat. No matter how awesome your doctor or coach is, if you're not in the driver's seat of your own healing process, the opinions or wisdom of somebody else is prevailing over yours. You're a unique personality with a deep connection to yourself. So you need to listen to your own gut feeling to make the decisions that will empower you. What happens if you skip the third shift? It is simple. You cannot change the trajectory of your life if you're not guiding your healing process. Without access and listening to your inner guidance, you do not know what is good for you and your health. Your wisdom, opinions, desires and needs do not matter if you skip shift 3. And if they do not matter, then you do not matter. And then you do not really heal. The fourth shift. Be a witness. Your heart beats fast. You have horrible repetitive thoughts. You break into sweat. You feel restless or you are trembling. Those things might happen, but none of these things mean the worst case scenario. There is a difference between feeling and what a feeling means. I state that those things do not mean the worst case scenario because you've probably been through them for so many times and you're still alive. You're alive and you can give yourself a better life. But you need to stop labeling those restless feeling or trembling or breaking into a sweat as if it is the end of the world. I know it's no fun, but there is a difference between sensing and what a sensation means. There's also a difference between thinking and what a thought means. And let me explain you. Your heart is there to pump blood and your lungs to transport air. They do this 24 hours a day. Your brain has the task to produce thoughts. And it does that also all the time when you're awake. And I want you to stop fooling yourself as if all those thoughts do bear fruit. I want to guide yourself into starting to observe your thoughts instead of thinking you are your thoughts, or that all your thoughts bear truth. Some of your thoughts are really handy and helpful. Some of your thoughts are clever, and that's why your brain is there as well. But when you start to observing your thoughts, you start to see that many of your thoughts are just thoughts and there's no need to do anything with them. So the same is about your feelings. Guide yourself into starting to be aware of your feelings instead of thinking what you experience means the end. That is what I mean by being a witness. Witness what is going on. Do not believe it to be the end. Allow your feelings. You learned that in shift 1. Witness your thoughts and do not believe they are all true. And some more about thoughts. Many of us have for many years mastered the art of writing worst case scenarios. You excel at creating stories with the most impossibly dramatic, painful and terrible endings. Look at how incredible creative you are. Let's, instead of making up worst case scenarios, start building a true story about you that is uplifting and has a happy ending. Think about that and observe how that makes you feel. But also the 4th shift is really necessary to make it. Because what happens if you skip this 4th shift? You will become smaller and smaller, stooping under the heavy weight of your thoughts. If you don't become aware of your thought patterns, you will stay in the vicious cycle. Without being able to observe thoughts and separate yourself from them, you will let them yank you back into panic and anxiety. A moment of honesty. So you expect to overcome panic and anxiety. How many times and for how many years did you postpone doing something serious about your struggle? Did you ever make excuses to avoid looking into the problem? Did you ever just give up before even trying to find a solution? Did you ever say to yourself that this is just the way I am? If you did before, are you prepared now to commit your own happiness by practicing daily the new abilities you have learned? Are you ready to start this journey even if it gives you shivers because part of you does not like the unknown? Even if the unknown is being a person that is thriving, that is happy, that is successful, but you don't know him or her yet. The old way is before you were not fully aware that there could be a lasting solution. And avoidance and procrastination was your second nature. You thought that anxiety was part of your identity instead of recognizing it as a problem with a solution. The old way is being constantly in arousal mode. And that way you lost so much energy to worry. It's so important that your autonomic nervous system is in the parasympathetic dominance, in trust mode. But the old way is also you were enslaved to your own repetitive thoughts and felt unable to ever stop them. The new way, we discussed 4 shifts up till now. Know thyself and embrace and appreciate yourself, including all emotions, even when they were labeled negative before. The new way is moving from arousal to trust. So there's space to be in balance, space to heal, recover. The third shift, guide your own healing process. Be the CEO of your healing process. Don't let someone with a title or says who knows everything be the guide. You are going to be the guide of your own healing process. And the fourth shift is to be a witness. Get a clear view of what is really going on. And now a little story about Lizinka. She worked with me and she told me afterwards, I did not know I suffered from generalized anxiety disorder. I could really worry about anything, but that was who I am, I thought. There was always a lot of turmoil and fear. Fear was always there. Now I can act. I no longer feel that constant unrest. I'm no longer busy all the time. Really, life is so different now. That's why I definitely recommend Success Without Anxiety. It is priceless. It is worth it. So thank you, Lizinka. It was really good working together. And about working together, that's the 5th shift. The 5th shift, give yourself a mentor. The method of Success Without Anxiety consists of 5 shifts. Gifting yourself a mentor is the 5th. Trying to wing it on your own when you don't have the tools is crazy. My way of mentoring is outcome oriented, committed to you living a life without anxiety or panic and expanding your career. two can think better than one, and a problem is easier to solve when you have help from someone who wants you to succeed and has been through this, has gone through this herself. A mentor sees your blind spots, keeps you on track, and helps you through breakthroughs. Only another human being, not a book or a blog, can help you shift your anxiety problems for good. So the key idea here is, because most of your self-sabotaging happens subconsciously, and only a mentor who knows the ropes, who's seen it all, who have been there and done that before, can see your blind spots. You need a real person who will help you move past your fear, your past traumas, your overwhelm, your doubt, and your limiting beliefs about anxiety or panic that have plagued you in the past. You need someone who knows the pitfalls from having been there, so you become one of the few professionals who used to suffer from anxiety, rather than the many who still do suffer. Transformation happens with a proven system, the 5 shifts including customized mentoring. Find the best mentor out there, someone who can actually help you through all the little snags that can come up when you're trying to transform yourself. Someone providing really hands-on advice. Again, you can of course go at it alone, but think for a moment how much value you will add to your life by learning from the experience of someone who already went through it and succeeded. Me being a master healer with 20 plus years of experience, when we work together I will use all my healing qualities for you. This can be done long distance. This can be done in an online program, since in a way time and space do not exist. One other point I want to make: you're universally supported in every way, every day. I also help you learn how to plug into that. So you see, now you have a choice. For so long you lived thinking you had no option but to accept your anxiety as your identity. Now you have a choice. Do you want to stay where you are at, or do you want to step into a life you choose for yourself and get the support you need to change your life and career? Are you ready to work as a team for your success? For the last 40 minutes I showed you that what high-achieving people need to do to leave anxiety or panic or both behind. You need the 5 shifts. The first is about knowing yourself and embracing and appreciating your emotions and your feelings. The second shift is the core of this 5 shifts system, and that is to go from arousal to trust. It concerns your autonomic nervous system, who is way out of balance. You learn how to bring balance into that. And we want you to own your own healing process, to be the CEO of that, to be the person who makes the decision and knows about your own process. You're going to be the expert of your own healing process. And you're going to learn how to be a witness. All of these shifts in little steps. So don't get overwhelmed by hearing all of this. That is so many other things than your life is now. It will be dosed. You'll learn the new skills step by step. And the fifth is so important for that, to gift yourself a mentor. Take a moment of stillness and take a breath. How can I help? I set time aside the next 27 hours for a strategy call. For people who have seen this webinar, this masterclass, can book a free strategy call with me. So we will talk about how to apply these shifts to your life. Whatever your biggest challenge, know that we've seen it and know how to overcome it. And in the call we will craft a step-by-step game plan to overthrow old beliefs, connect to your innate wisdom, and thrive in your career without anxiety within 8 weeks. We'll craft that plan. This way you will get clarity in what is in your way of your success, what steps you need to take to leave behind the burden of anxiety, what needs to shift in your life. Listen, this is not for anybody. This is for high achieving people. And if you don't want to invest in yourself, this is not for you. And if you don't want to leave anxiety or panic behind now, then this is also not for you. And don't think you don't have the time for it. If you do have an hour a day, it can be done. If it's not for you, if you don't want to become a better version of yourself, and if you only want to understand your situation without willingness to act now, if you want a quick fix, then this is not for you. I know we would all love it if we could take a shortcut, but shortcuts always come at a price. There's only so much dust we can shove under the carpet. You must take ownership and take action about the direction of your life. If you know you're not yet ready to take ownership of your life, then this is not for you. In order to achieve this, you must be ready to not give up, and you must be hungry to succeed in life. Be coachable and resourceful. You will not be alone. One of the reasons why you will also enjoy the process. If you can do that, then this is for you. Let me repeat, who is this for? There is many people depending on you, your employees, your colleagues, your audience, your team, your customers, your spouse and your children. For you, high standards and integrity are important. Without anxiety or panic, you can stop surviving and start thriving. And this is for when you feel ready to accomplish your goals, but your avoidance, procrastination and sleepless nights keep you from making progress, the progress you want. Is this for you? Then I recommend to apply. Apply for a free call. Go to my website www.nicolaroma.com/apply, and I try to make a direct link here, and people love these sessions, and I'm sure you're going to love it too. You're going to get tremendous value out of it. Since I do work with every participant personally, spaces are very limited. So sign up now. What about the call? What about applying? We are on the call. You will get become crystal clear about where you are stuck and what shifts do you need to begin with and how. You'll get clarity on what are the possibilities for you to live your life without suffering from anxiety or panic within weeks. Why is there this free call? What is the catch? Is there a catch? There is no catch. Excuse me. I just love giving back everything I learned and gained in life. I like to teach people, mentor people who need the same transition I made. And it is your birthright to receive. It's your birthright. Don't forget that. Plus, you might want our help. And in the clarity call, we can discuss that. So now you have a choice. The wise innate healer in you is a craft. The 5 shifts is a doing. It's first a process and then it is a state of being. You can do it too. Will you do it? It involves taking a step forward. To be open to be trained and train yourself so you can develop an inner strength. Now is the time. Now you have a choice to apply for the call. And you apply by nicolairomer.com/apply. Together we can get there. And spaces are very limited, so do it now. Thank you for listening and speak to you soon.